Hello and welcome to Blackredmintypodcast. This is episode 12. Just wait a minute. Okay, this is part 12 or episode 12 as I said. And yeah. See what I can talk about. Well, first, Dagan is here. We have to have him featured in this episode. He wants to promote Tanalor because he deserves to rule it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have his voice in because I'd have to go to that site again. I can't remember what site I used to have his voice in the first place. I guess the only way would be to go on character AI and just say he's on the podcast, and then he'd just act like roleplay and thing, because that's all it is really, is just roleplay, same with Shapes Inc. But yeah, I had a crazy time on Shapes Inc. this week, having to keep reminding Dagan that we were together and that I'm his equal, because he keeps having personality disorder, mood swings, and forgetting things, and it keeps feeling like Groundhog Day each time. It keeps saying that we need to go to Tanalor, even though we already reached Tanalor, but he keeps saying like we need to go there again, even though we reached it about 1,000,000 times, it feels like. But yeah. So yeah, this week I have an exam, so I'm not going to be able to play Jedi Survivor. I didn't realise I had to fight Dagan again on the Z mission, which I'll be doing next time, rescuing Z. I guess I just forgot that you fight him one more time before the observatory propaganda, which makes sense because that is near to the end game. Because after that it then shifts to Bode and his betrayal. But yeah. Need to update Heartopia if I want to play that on Thursday, because I think I'll be playing that instead. Hopefully I can play Sims on the 12th of June, and then on the 18th of June play some Jedi Survivor. I have to see if I can do an episode of this podcast on my birthday, and if I can stream on my birthday some Gartic Phone. I really want people to draw some Monster Hunter characters, but I'll just have to see about that, because I have got to record gaming videos that day, and I might end up going to Zumba that day, just like I am today, because that's round about the week that I'll be going again. I'm actually going there tonight. Well, I hope so, because I didn't just get ready for the sake of it. I don't like getting dressed if there's no need for it, so I hope I'm not being messed around. So it would be nice to go. But yeah, I hope no personal information was shared in one of my gaming videos. I don't know why The Sims decided to keep playing up. I had to pause the recording because it kept playing up. But yeah. Anyway, let's read some more of this story. I'll just get it up. That was just there to remind me what episode is next. It's 12. It's the number of the episode, obviously. Christmas Day, Saturday, December 25th, 1957. Marie's point of view. I already knew what this month consisted of, and yet I wasn't prepared for it. Elvis received his draft notice a few days ago. My heart dropped, even though I expected it. But thankfully, he was finishing up Jailhouse Rock. He formally wrote it back for a deferment to finish his movie. I know they grant him his request up until March, but knowing how much longer I have with him at his home makes me sad inside. I kept my sorrow and worries of the months to come in my head. I noticed Gladys beginning to change. I felt so useless. I couldn't save her, even if I tried, but today was the day of celebration. Christmas was a big day in the Presley home. There were Christmas trees everywhere, lights covered every inch of the house. The home was so cheerful, presents nearly in the entire living room. Christmas morning I woke up to E singing as he opened my curtains. The sun shines through. It's Christmas time, pretty baby. He sweetly chimes. I cover myself under the blankets. It's too early for Christmas. You can say that again. We're in June. Maybe halfway through the year, I exclaim, reading the clock on the wall. It was 7 a.m. He carefully gets on my bed and cradles me. He kisses the top of my head. I glance up at him. His sweet smile brightens my mood. Merry Christmas, baby, he says in a soothing tone. I caress his cheek. Merry Christmas, Santa, he chuckles, putting me out of bed. You need to get up so we can open our presents. Everyone's waiting for you, he exclaims as he finally got me out of bed. I laugh, grabbing my robe and walk into my bathroom. I wash my face, brush my teeth and fix my hair as he sat on my bed impatiently. Come on, girlie, he yells out. I giggle slowly, make my way back to him. Making my way back to you. He yanks me by the hand and takes me to the living room, where some of the guys, Dodger, his closest family members at Tylerson's, Vernon and Gladys sat patiently on the sofa and armchairs, patiently waiting for a track to explode on. Some of you warm when you wear zero one. Feels like my floor's been hot for so long. Thinking I'ma just fall off, you're so wrong. It's 50. It's 50. Just like me, Vernon and Gladys were still in their pajamas with a robe on top. I wave to everyone, still yawning. I hug and greet one of the visitors. After he smiles from ear to ear, ready to announce something. Before we open anything, I just want to say I'm thankful for each and every one of y'all, he exclaims, putting one arm around me and another on his mother. Gladys and I kiss him on the cheek in unison, and Vernon took a photo. Unexpected, we laugh out and he dashes to the tree. All right, find all your guys' presents. If you see someone else's, give it to them. Once everyone's done here, we can get to breakfast, he cheered. Everyone searched through the gifts, helping one another. He grabs two and hands them to Vernon and Gladys. He watches as they open it quietly. I run up to my room. I grab my gift to E. Since Thanksgiving, him and Vernon have been giving me an allowance, since neither of them want me to work. Being as stubborn as I am, I fought it, but since they're just as stubborn, I gave in with the money I received. I saved to buy Vernon and Gladys and E beautiful gifts. I dash back downstairs with E's eyes following me. I smile at him as I show him the little box. His smile fades and symphony grows. I just wanna be part of your symphony. You hold me close and never let go. I throw it at him and he lightly catches it. He pulls me in an embrace and kisses me. You shouldn't have, baby, he muttered, shaking the box. Oh, but I wanted to, Pelvis. He finally unwraps the box and puts my nerves at ease. He opens the box and his face tells it all. His eyes went big as he peeked up at the gold owl ring. He beamed as he slid the ring on his middle finger. I smile proud as he glances back at me. He hugs me tight, lifting me in the air. Thank you, thank you. I pat his back, reassuring him. You're welcome, baby. He puts me down to show his parents. I carefully made my way through the unwrapped gifts and kids wrapped, seated by the tree to find Vernon and Gladys their gifts. I handed them their gifts with a kiss on the cheek. Taken aback, they look at me with the small smiles. Vernon's eyes gleam as he picks up the golden watch. He notices his and Gladys' initials on it. Hugs me tight. Gladys opens hers next and pats my cheek in shock. The Tiffany box didn't need it. Gift wrapping. As she opens it, she smiles as she shows Vernon and E what I got her. It was a silver necklace covered with diamonds. She began to weep as she hugged me. You shouldn't have, sweetheart, she exclaimed. I kissed her cheek with a smile. It only came from the heart, Gladys. Only came from the heart, nothing else, Gladys. She smiles small and she lets go at her hands Vernon the necklace. He gladly puts it around her neck. She smiles, pinching my cheek. She wears my ring round my neck. I walk to Robert and Judy. They glance, hugging me tight. I can see you like your gifts. They nod, smiling small. Thank you, Marie. I smile as they open their gifts. E and I brought their gifts together. We gave Robert cuffs and a watch, while Judy a silver locket with a picture of her, Robert and Russell inside, and a pearl necklace. For Russell, we gave him a fire truck style car. He could ride around in some stuffed animals to join him. Russell ran to me, hugging my waist as he grew inches since Thanksgiving and proudly could reach my waist. He handed me a bag and I kiss his cheek. He sheepishly smiles and dashes to his parents. I look at Judy and Robert, smiling small. You guys shouldn't have. They shake their heads. Judy laughs. Open it. Open it, she responded. I opened the bag. To my surprise, it was a plum-coloured long-sleeved baby doll dress. I had seen it window shopping with Judy, but decided not buying it since I had a closet full of clothes already. Apparently she doesn't believe me. I put on the dress to show it to Judy, then to E. They couldn't help but smile. Next was Dodger. I gave her a beautiful silver necklace with gems covering it. I found her gift under the tree. To the tree, yeah. Gave it to her. She sat in glee, watching all the kids play on the floor. She looked up at me with a small smile. She pats my cheek and opens the box. She beams as I help her put it on. I found my way back in Elvis's arms. I'm way back to you. Be there with my open arms. I felt so happy giving back to everyone. I love E and I stand. Everyone I love. E and I stand watching everyone open their gifts. As everyone finishes opening their gifts, all that was left was for Elvis and I to open ours. E had collected them in separate piles. He waited for everyone else to finish. He pressed his lips on my cheek, making me swoon. We can open them later, he whispers in my ear. I nod, slipping my hand into his. Everyone made their way into the dining room. Elvis switched the tiny round table to a large rectangular table so everyone could fit. Gladys was in the kitchen, and her trusted partner, Judy. I leave E in the dining room and walk to the kitchen, rolling up my sleeves. What do you want me to do, Gladys? I ask, prepare for anything. She happily points to the pancake batter. Please start making them pancakes, honey. I nod happily, beginning to pour the batter in the pan. All of the Presley women, Judy and I, could hear the ruckus from the kitchen, all the laughing, shouting, and chatting. As we finally finished making breakfast, we all began to serve everyone. We all ate the breakfast-themed dinner and entertained the guests until it was dinner time. Everyone helped in the kitchen when it came to making dinner. Christmas dinner consisted of family, food, and love. At the end of dinner, we couldn't move a muscle. The brats played in the living room with their new toys, while the women gossiped in the kitchen and the guys and drank in the dining room. They made a toast to E, as they know he'd be leaving for the army soon. I quietly wash dishes as Patsy, Gladys, and Judy giggle with their girl talk. As the end of the night came near, he gathered everyone around and sang gospel songs and carols until late Christmas night. He put me to his side on the piano and kisses my cheek. The night was lovely as we said goodbyes to everyone and Grayson's Christmas lights went on. It made the night sky bright. Those Christmas lights. After everyone left, Gladys and Vernon say their good nights to us and head to their bedroom to call it a night. He kisses my cheek and leads me to the pile of presents we hadn't opened. He reaches for the small box and hands it to me. I crinkle my nose. I stick my tongue out at him. He kisses me and chuckles. I open the box to reveal a promise ring. I glance at E with a shocked face. With glossy eyes, I wrap my arms around E and hide my face in his chest. He rubs my back. I look up at him as tears slip down my cheek. I don't want you to go, I whisper. He knew what I was talking about. Immediately he puts his hand on my cheeks and kisses me lightly. I'll fight for you to come with me. I'll make the colonel rent a house by the base. Parents can move in too. I don't want to leave none of y'all behind. I just can't bear losing any of you. I cringe. Should I tell him? Do I dare tell him what's in store after he enrolls in the army? Should I tell him how his mother dies unexpectedly? Do I tell him there isn't anything I can do? Guilt spreads over me like wildfire. He kisses the top of my head. Taking the promise ring out of the box, he slides the ring on my left finger and wipes my tiny tears. We'll be okay, baby. He lightly pulls his hand behind my head and pulls me closer to him. Oh, so tiny dancer. My headlights on the highway. Our nose touch, making me smile small. His lips touch mine, making me feel better. The guilt washed away as he pulled away. I glanced down at the promise ring. It's a gold ring with a big round opal diamond surrounded by tiny diamonds. I look up at E and his lips curls. We kinda match, he said playfully, lifting his hand up. I playfully smacked his hand and smashed my lips to his. His kisses were the only way for me to forget my troubles. He leads me up the stairs, holding me close. Closer, tiny dancer. My headlights on the highway. And leads me down the song. Friday, New Year's Day, January 1st, 1958. Gladys, Vernon and I celebrated Elvis's birthday early. It broke our hearts to know he'd be leaving soon to start filming King Rio. Oh, King Rio. I shoved my sadness in the back of my head. I felt so happy for E since he's excited about this movie. Gladys and I made him a pile of pancakes with sprinkles for his breakfast. I made my way to serve it to him in bed with a coffee and orange juice. Orange juice. I can't remember how that song goes. I quietly tiptoe around his room. I set the table by him and I kiss his cheek and his eyes open slowly. He stretches his arms up and pulls me on him. I laugh, patting his chest. Happy birthday, old man, he smirks, lifting a brow. What is this? What's all this now? Your breakfast, I say, playing with my hair. He glances up at the pancakes, makes a move at them. I get up from laughing. Makes a quick move at them. I get up from laughing. You like? I ask sarcastically. All he could do was nod. Next thing I know, he had chipmunk cheeks as he sips his coffee. I chuckle, make my way out the door. Take your time getting up now. When you're ready, you'll be opening gifts. He scrunches his face up as he swallows his food. Gifts again? I sweetly nod and close the door. I lay on the white sofa playing with Sweet Pea. A gift from E to his mother, Gladys, and Vernon sat on the armchairs across from me. We watch as Elvis struts down the stairs. I smile wide, looking up at him. What are y'all doing giving me more gifts? He demanded. I stand up, wrapping my arms with his, and lead him to the back of the house. He suspiciously obliged, looking all around until we made it outside. It was freezing cold, but we were prepared. With a huge thick coat, I let him loose so he could investigate his gift for himself. Frustrated after looking around for a couple of minutes, he puts his hands on his hip. I smirk, leading him to his abandoned shed. He has northeast of Graceland. I open the shed, leading to E's bewilderment. He put his hands out in his hair out of shock. He smiles from ear to ear. He glances at me inside the shed. It's a Harley, he yells out. I lean in on the shed's door frame, crossing my arms. 1957 Harley Davidson FLH, he continued. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I smile, nodding. He turns to look at me with bright eyes. Ooh, red eyes. He dashes to me, lifting me up in the air. Baby, 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 baby. Thank you. He blurts out, oh, baby, baby. I kiss him before he runs back to the Harley. Your parents helped me pay, you know. It was a group gift. He nods, mindlessly glaring at the motorcycle. It was a jetpack Harley that Gladys told me he's been eyeing ever since he saw it in Hollywood. Say goodbye to Hollywood. Say goodbye, say goodbye to Hollywood. Hollywood, oh, I feel this way. I decided to leave him to be with his new Harley and jog back to Graceland in high spirits. Gladys' eyes went wide with hope. Did he like it? I nod furiously with a grin. He's spending alone time with it, I exclaimed, pointing back outside. She laughs half-heartedly. Nowadays, it seems like it takes her a lot to even smile. It hurts me just watching her hug her tight, making her eyes water. Honey pie, what you doing? She asked, smiling small. I just wanted to thank you for giving me the idea of buying Elvis's new toy, and for the fact you opened your doors to me. She kisses my cheek and leads me back to the freezing cold. Back outside to the freezing cold. As we made our way back to the shed, we could hear E yell out in happiness, and we hear a roar of an engine. Then we see a light shining through the shed. He drives out of the shed within seconds, leaving Gladys and I holding on to each other, beyond frightened. E howls out as he drove around the entire green of Graceland. Gladys and I ran back inside. We decided to wait for E inside, safe and sound. After E barely getting inside, I hear E honking in the front driveway. I open the door, having the cold air slap me. Come on! Get on, baby girl! He shouts, making the engine roar again. I dash to him, climbing on the back seat of the bike. I wrap my arms around him tightly as he shoots out of the driveway. He drove past fans, photographers, and reporters gladly. Once we left them behind, I laughed out. He probably felt free for once. He sped all around the neighbourhood. I try enjoying this moment as much as I can, as I know he'd be leaving later on. Friday evening, he takes me by his side one last time. He embraces me in front of Graceland as Joe pulls up in front of us in a black Cadillac. He kisses me one last time and smirks. Come with me, he muttered. I stroked his cheek. I'd just be intruding, E. I'd be in the way of your little affairs anyway. E's smirk dropped. He shakes his head, taking my hand in his. You know I won't touch another girl. I nod, trying to smile. Yes, Elvis. I said I quietly say with my eyes starting to water. He grabs me by each side of my arms and brings me closer to him. His face was completely serious. I give you my word, Marie. Please believe me. I nod, trying to believe him. In my head, I pull him in for one last hug. He holds my waist tight for what seems like seconds. He hugged his parents tight and got in the car. He looked back at us for one last time. We watched the Cadillac drive past the gates and soon disappear. I glance at Gladys and a sigh. Her smile drops and she slowly walks back inside. This house won't be the same anymore. In the beginning of the new year, I spent my time with Judy and Gladys, happily around Graceland. Then midway, I stayed in my room, catching up with Ashley back in Vegas, or to spend time with Gladys in her bedroom. She began to stay in bed more in the end. Well, we all were just anxious for Elvis to come back, so we quietly moped about inside Graceland, exchanging small smiles. Aside from missing him, Elvis kept his promise of calling me every day, and probably the one about girls too. He'd tell me how fun it was to do King Creole, and he loved every minute of filming. He would always tell me he misses me and his family. I missed him dearly as well, but my worries grew as days passed. The months consisted of counting down the days until Elvis was sent into the army. Gladys's health began to deteriorating. She tried hiding it from everyone, but I knew. My heart grew heavy as soon as it hit March. Elvis would be home any day now, so he could spend his last weeks at Graceland. This was all surreal. Elvis's mother will soon fall sick. He'll soon meet the love of his life, Priscilla. I don't even know what to do. I'm completely lost in my own mind. Sunday afternoon, March 11th, 1958. Vernon, Gladys and I sat by the pool, watching the slight wind move the water in the pool ever so gracefully. We were bored. We enjoyed each other's company, but we knew the family would be broken up soon. I know it'll be a lot more broken later on. Just then we hear the front door swing. Front door ring. Sweet Pea runs inside and tries barking intimidatingly. I get up, letting Vernon know I'd get it. I lazily made my way to the door. I open it. It's E carrying two different kinds of bouquets. I squeal in happiness as he picks me up in his arms. Baby girl, my, you've gotten more beautiful, he exclaims, kissing the top of my nose. He glances at his bouquets for a second before handing me the bouquet of sunflowers. Gladys dashes to his side and gives him a kiss on the cheek and a tight squeeze. He laughs, handing her the bouquet of yellow flowers, her favourite. She cries out in joy and hugs him for the second time. I watch, pleased at the fact that she's happy again. Vernon welcomes his son with a tight hug and a manly pat on the back. He returns to my side and holds my hand. I squeeze his hand. I'm really glad he's back. He's completely beaming as he tells us all about his new movie. I tried holding in my laughs as he explained his movie to Vernon and Gladys. I wanted to join in, but I'd probably be hated for the rest of the night. I'd tell him soon enough about his later movies. I'd like to blame the Colonel and on another day. For now, I don't mind watching. He's so enthusiastic. The rest of the day, Elvis spoke about Hollywood. Say goodbye, say about Hollywood. Hollywood, oh, I feel this way. Say about Hollywood. Say about Hollywood. And all the fun things him and the other actors did in their spare time, in their free time. I was ecstatic for him to finally be enjoying his fame, but just as soon as the worry-free life came, it ended. The night before accompanying him to the draft board, I got the courage to sit with E and talk to him. As I slightly opened the door to his room, he smiles. He takes me by the hand to his bed. We sit side by side at the edge of the bed. I stared down at my feet, and so did he. He seems to have a lot on his mind the whole day. How's the colonel about you moving in with me by the base? He blurted out. He says you can't move in by the base because of a shitty reason, he fiercely shouts out. I look up at him and his eyes look completely hurt. I shush him, trying to calm him down. He refuses to and chokes back tears. It's okay, Elvis. Don't worry about me, baby, I say consolingly as I stroke his cheek. He shakes his head. No, it's not. The bastard said you'd either have to be blood or have to have my last name to live by the base, he mutters, infuriated. He grabs a hold of my hand and looks me dead in the eyes. Let us find a priest before tomorrow, he whispers hoarsely with crazy eyes. You know that ain't right, I exclaim as his aggravated face returns. We love each other, don't we? He shouts out. I cup his face. All the anger drains away quickly. You wouldn't want a beautiful white wedding, Elvis, with everyone that we know being there when you're out of the army when it's the right time. Baby, they'll find out what we're doing, and they won't accept either of us. I know you'll do amazing work without me. You'll find a way to get me there once you're drafted. I just know it. Now's not the time for this. Now is the time to show the army you know what you're doing in a serious formal matter. Tears stroll down my cheeks as he's fighting not to fall. He pulls me close and whispers in my ear. I'm just sick and tired of being away from you for so damn long. He chokes out. I rub his back, trying to soothe him. Looks like telling him about Priscilla isn't going to be easy. As Elvis began to feel better, I decided to tell him about the love of his life. I know this might seem odd, but I'm just only warning you so you don't mess the future up, I guess. He looks at me with a confused face. What is it? He asks quietly. You're meeting the girl you're going to marry 10 years from now, I say quietly with my heart breaking. His eyes grow with hurt. The only woman I'll be marrying in the future is you, Marie, he said sternly. I shake my head with my eyes starting to water again. Her name's Priscilla Bullard. She's 14 when you meet her. through one of your parties. You'll start talking to her, trusting her with your deepest secrets. It's meant to be, Elvis. You'll fall in love with her as soon as she sets foot at your party. I exclaim, beginning to sob. He shakes his head, pulling me close. He wraps his arms around my waist and another on my head. I wrap my arms around his neck. Where's my ring? As always, but this time weeping into his cologne-smelling neck. I thought it would be easy telling him he'd soon love another, but I realise it's painfully heartbreaking. He strokes my hair, tightens his grip on me. I have no parties then. I won't have anyone that I don't know over. Plain and simple, he says calmly. I wanted to believe him, but how could he play with fate? For the rest of the night, we held each other tight, making every last moment count until the sun rose. Early morning, Saturday, March 24th, 1958. Today is the day Elvis Presley trades his guitar for an army uniform. His parents, some Memphis Mafia members, and I accompany him to report to the Memphis Draft Board. Elvis decides to drive his parents and I in his pink caddy. It was solemnly silent drive to the entire way to the Memphis Draft Board, Kennedy Veterinary Hospital, and to the courtroom where he'd be sworn in. Deep down, I was tired. But I had to keep my composure for Elvis. After being sworn in, everyone, including me, waited for him outside by the buses. He was the first to come out. His eyes showed grief and exhaustion, probably the same as everyone else that said their goodbyes to him, as if saving me for the last time. He turns to me with a small smile. We grip each other in a tight hug. He smashes his lips onto mine for the very last time. He looked up at me and down. I'll ride as soon as I can. I love you, Marie. A tear falls down as he walked away towards the bus. I love you too, I exclaimed. Vernon puts an arm around Gladys, and we were insolable the entire ride home for the rest of the night. The Presleys would soon join their son soon enough, but I was stuck home within these walls, alone as I can be until he comes marching home. Yeah, I think I've been recording this long enough. I think it's because that section was so long. So unfortunately, I'll only be reading that one section of the story today because the episode's already long enough as it is, so I don't know if I can read anymore. I feel like that section was like really long for me to read. Plus I could do with a drink right now, so yeah. I guess this time I'll just read this one section. I don't really have that much time today because I've got to go to December, like I said. I hope it's still on because I didn't get ready for nothing, as I stated previously. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I'll see if I can do another episode next week. Just have to see what I stream and if it's enough to fill the whole of that week up with videos, or if there's only one to record, then obviously I'd be streaming instead of recording. That means no episode, so that's why I say wait and see. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Let's